Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis is in jeopardy of not happening. And if it does, not in the state of Georgia. Let's talk. According to the state of Georgia's rules and regulations, Section 1G, the weight spread. All right, if you're looking at the weight spread, no boxing contest or exhibition may be scheduled, and no boxer may engage in a boxing contest or exhibition without the approval of the commission or the commission's representative if the difference in weight between the boxers exceeds the following allowance. We don't care about 1 or 2, but 3, 4, and 5 is what matters, because Tank fights at 35. Jake Paul fights at 200. That's roughly 70 pounds between the two. He's actually 226 in his last fight, which means that he is more than 70 pounds, but just roughly 70 pounds between the two. This fight is supposed to be happening at a 195-pound catch weight. So 135 to 195 is roughly 60 pounds. But Jake will then blow back up to like 200 and something pounds. So it'll be damn near over 100 pounds. Yeah. Damn near 100-pound weight difference. Okay. If you add up the 6 pounds from G3, G4, and G5, if you add up the 6, the 7, and the 9, you're looking at roughly 22 pounds between G3, G4, and G5. That is 22 pounds. At the lowest, this is still out of reach. The only way that this fight won't need the commission is if Gervonta weighs around 160. Around 160, 165, 170. If he weighs around 170 and Jake weighs, not even that, he's got to weigh more than that, because Jake is going to cut down to about 195. That's 22 pounds. So 195 minus 22 is what? 73? So Tank has to weigh 173 pounds. Tank Davis has to gain 100. He has to gain 40-something plus pounds. He's got to come to this fight 173 for the commission, to the Georgia commission, to be able to allow this fight to happen without somebody on the commission saying, hell no, we're not doing this. If Tank gets hurt fighting this guy, they're going to look at us for why we put this on, why we approved it. There is going to be people on the Georgia commission that are going to say, hell no. Hell no. Yeah, the revenue's going to be great that we bring in. So what? We're in football season. We don't need this. We don't need Tank and Jake Paul during the football season. Now, if this was during the summertime or some other time, then yeah, this would be great. We can have a conversation about bringing in revenue into the state of Georgia. But this is football season. Bro, we've got college football. We've got professional football. We don't need this at all. At all. So somebody, and probably a few people on the commission, are going to argue against the weight difference. They're going to argue against it. It might even get political, to be honest. Hell no. Hell no, we ain't doing this. And then some will be okay with it. Others won't. However, if Tank gains almost 50 pounds, if he gains almost 50 pounds, actually legitimately 50 pounds, well, he's got to gain 40 pounds. Because he walks, his last couple of fights was at 133. His last fight with Lamont Roach was at 135. So if he gains 40 pounds, he'll be 175. So if he's 175 and Jake is 195, right? Well, then they can have a semi-argument to say, hey, I was at 135. I'm now at 175. I know Section 5 says no more than 9 pounds between, us fighting. But since I was going at 130, if you add up the 6 to 7 and 9, it's 22 pounds. I'm 175, so I'm right there, right? I'm 20 pounds. He's only 20 pounds bigger than me. So he has like an argument if he gains 40 pounds. If Tank Davis is at about 175 and Jake is at 195, then he has an argument. But Tank at 175 will look like a light-skinned Bomac with braids and gold teeth and chrome heart jeans. Yeah, light-skinned Bomac with gold teeth, braids, and chrome heart jeans and a purse. That is what Gervonta would look like if he wants to make this fight with Jake Paul in Atlanta without the weight being an issue. Otherwise, it will be an issue. And then if you read G6I, which is the very last piece in this, the very bottom of this, it says any agreement to proceed with a boxing contest or exhibition where the weight spread exceeds the limit established in this rule shall be entered on each participant's bout contract and shall be initialed or signaled by each participant. That too is to remove liability from the state of Georgia. Right? To remove the liability because they don't want to get sued. They're not trying to get charged if Jake Paul knocks Tank completely the hell out and everybody's like, why did y'all allow this? Jake Paul's 200-something pounds. This guy's 130 pounds. Why did you allow a 200-plus man to fight a 130-plus man? Why did y'all allow this? Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Tank Davis got hurt, and I can't believe y'all did this, yada, yada, yada. That's why they had that initial piece. Now, I understand you guys are running around here talking about skills pay the bills and all this other weird-ass stuff that you Tank fans are doing in order to cap for Tank Davis so he can fight this fight. But if skills pay the bills, then Tank should have no problem fighting Devin Haney at 147. Should have had no problem fighting Devin Haney at 140. Should have had no problem fighting Josh Taylor at 140. Should have had no problem fighting Teofimo Lopez at 140. Should have had no problem fighting Gary Antoine, Subriel Matisse, Alberto Puello, Regis Porgray. All of these guys at 140. He should have no problem fighting these guys at 140 if skills pay the bills. But you guys didn't say skill pay the bills when y'all were crying like some whores about how little and tiny Tank is. And now you guys are running around here telling me, oh, well, Jake's not a real boxer, but he's ranked in the WBA number 14. He is a real boxer. He's 100% a real boxer. He just beat a former champion in Jesus Chavez Jr. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He just beat a former champion. He's absolutely a boxer, 100% a boxer. Whether you guys like it or not, he is a boxer with skills and power. But you guys are saying this so that you guys can cap for Tank and say, oh, it's just an exhibition and Tank's so much more skilled. So what? Inouye's so much more skilled than Jake Paul too. But I guarantee you guys wouldn't be saying, man, I got Inoue over Jake Paul. Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez is more skilled. Juntao Nakatani is more skilled. But I guarantee you, you guys wouldn't be saying, I got Juntao, man. I got a Nui over Jake Paul. That's what I got. I got 122-pound Anui. I got 122-pound Anui over that. You guys are literally running around here talking about Anui and Tank Davis. Shouldn't happen because Tank is too big. This is what you guys are saying to me. Nah, man, Tank is too big, man. Why don't Tank do something, man? Why don't Tank fight somebody? He don't deserve to fight Anui. Anui's too small. Man, I can't believe you guys want Anui, who came up from smaller weight classes. You want him to go even bigger to fight Tank Davis. Man, make Tank do something. But now you guys are justifying this, telling me that it's A-okay for 130-pound Tank to fight 220-something-pound Jake Paul. And they're both boxers. Well, then Anui versus Usyk should be an exhibition too. What's the problem? Juntao Nakatani is a very good fighter. Juntao Nakatani versus Ja Apataya in an exhibition should happen. I believe that fight should happen. I do. I believe it. I do. You guys are running around here telling me about, man, it's just an exhibition, BF. It's just an exhibition. Jake Paul really isn't that good. Okay, well, Monster Anui's good. Lennox Lewis is old as hell. He's like 70. Monster Anui versus Lennox Lewis in an exhibition. Let's get it popping. It's good for the sport of boxing, BF. It'll bring more eyes to the sport of boxing. It'll bring so much more eyes. How about Monster Anui and Vladimir Klitschko? Vladimir Klitschko, 70. He's old as dirt. How about that? Let's get that fight happening. Let's do that. Matter of fact, I got one better. How about we do Juntao Nakatani and Sugar Ray Leonard? Let's get that one popping. No. What about Anui versus KSI? Let's get that one. I mean, KSI only walks around at 200 pounds. Skills pay the bills. Skills pay the bills, man. It's gonna put a lot of eyes on the sport of boxing. You see how ridiculous those things sound? And they do sound ridiculous. They do. If we want eyes on the sport of boxing, we want eyes. How about we have Monster Anui versus Brock Lesnar? Let's just do that in an exhibition. Let's do that. In a boxing exhibition, Monster Anui versus Brock Lesnar. Let's see how that one turns out for Monster Anui, the more skilled boxer. He's so skilled. Let's just see. I got Brock Lesnar by absolute annihilation and destruction whenever he hits him. I don't give a damn if Monster Anui is blocking or not. Whenever Brock touches him, the fight's over with. But of course, you guys are saying that, oh no, man, no, Monster Anui. Skills pay the bills, BF. Skills. It's skills pay the bills. Skills. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. Well, if and when this fight happens, which I don't, at this particular moment, it's not happening. At this particular moment, it's not. All right, right now, this fight Georgia is not allowing this fight at this particular moment. But if they do, I got Jake Paul. Because Jake got skills and Jake can punch. Tank is more skilled. And he's also 70 pounds smaller. Yeah. The most skilled baby on earth is not beating Ja Apataya. All right? I don't give a damn how much skills. I mean, you could be the smartest first grader on planet Earth. The smartest. You are not beating Moses Atama. You can be the most skilled. You can have the best footwork, the best punch placement. You could be trained by Mike Tyson, Julio Cesar Chavez, Roberto Duran, Thomas the Hitman Hearns, every last one, Roy Jones. You don't. Every last one of those guys can be your trainer. All of them. Every one of them. They could train you from the age of 6 to the age of 10. Matter of fact, they can train you till you're 15 years old. From 6 to 15. You could be 15 years old. Your first year in high school. They have trained you for 10 straight years. From when you was 5 years old to when you're 15. You're trained by nothing but the legends. This is your first year in high school. I got Moses Tama knocking you spark out. In like the first round. In the first round, I got Moses Tama destroying you. And you can have all of them in your corner at the same time. Most skilled fighter in the world. You got trained by the most skilled fighter, the legends, the greats, the Hall of Famers, all of them. You're 15 years old. You weigh 130 pounds. You've been trained by all the legends. You fight ambidextrous. You can fight with your eyes closed. They can tie a damn a wig, or I'm not a wig, but I said a wig. They can tie a damn what's the name over your eyes, a blindfold over your eyes. Tie a blindfold over your eyes, and then put a brown paper bag over your head. Tie that up and put another one over that, and tie something over that, so you can't see nothing. And you're so skilled that all these guys you're sparring with, they can't even touch you. They chain your hands behind your back and put a weight around your waist to make you slower, and people still can't hit you. And then you take all that stuff off and you put on some gloves and get in the ring. You weigh 130 pounds and I put you in there with Moses Tama. I am betting everything I will ever make in life that Moses Tama will knock you spark out in the first round. But hey, you guys rock on. If Georgia allows it, he'll be 70-pound difference. If he doesn't, if they don't, and they have not allowed it yet. They have not allowed it yet. But we'll see. There's other states like Florida that are looking at this, if Georgia is not going to allow it. So I would recommend you guys don't buy your tickets, don't buy your rooms, don't buy your flights, don't buy any of that. Y'all gonna be looking just like y'all did when y'all bought them tickets for Houston. Yo, I'm getting my ticket now for Houston, man. Tank versus Lamont Roach in Houston, man. It's gonna be lit. I'm getting my tickets now. Yeah, and then what happened? Y'all better stop. Y'all better wait. Y'all better wait. You better wait. Otherwise, man, don't listen to me, man. Do your thing. Go ahead and buy that. Y'all gonna be crying in a little bit. Man, I don't even rock with Tank no more, man. It's the second time y'all gonna be looking like that dude on the Harlem Nights. Man, God, it's the third time they done slapped my number. Y'all gonna be looking like old buddy. Whatever, man. Right now, the Georgia State Athletic Commission has not approved this fight. They have not approved it. All right, the commission is there. They're going to be talking about it and voting on it. I want to say it's like on the 15th. It's the 15th, I want to say, is when they're going to be looking at voting on this. September 15th. What's that, a Monday? Yeah, it's a Monday. Next Monday, as a matter of fact, now that I think about it. They're going to be voting on this fight. All right, not this Monday coming up. Not the 9th, but the following one. So we're going to see what it is, y'all. BFTB, man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And I'm out. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, subscribe to my Patreon. And if you feel like supporting me, please support me in the PayPal or the Cash App.